So let's start by looking at just what does the graph of the parabola negative x squared minus 1 looks like. First thing you're going to ask yourself, is this in a form where I can tell the vertex right away? Yes, it is. The vertex is 0, negative 1. Which way is it opening, up or down? Down. Because the value in front is a negative 1. That means we could go over 1, down 1. So we would get to 1, negative 2, or negative 1, negative 2. And so on then over 1, down 3. But we would get a parabola like this. How many asymptotes is our reciprocal going to have? None. Because when we do 1 over negative x squared minus 1, we had no x-intercepts to start with, so we're going to have no non-permissible values. So when we go to do our asymptotes, we have no asymptotes that we can draw that are vertical, but we still have our horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. Now we can take all of the points that we have. What's going to happen to negative 1, negative 2? It's going to become negative 1, 1 over negative 2. What's going to happen to 0, negative 1? It's going to become 0, 1 over negative 1, which is still 0, negative 1. And what's going to happen to 1, negative 2? It's going to become 1, comma, 1 over negative 2. What kind of graph are we going to get? A pothole. Notice that on this graph, our vertex was a max. On our reciprocal, that point is our minimum. So things get flipped.
Do they always flip?
They'll always flip. Maximums will become minimums. Minimums will become maximums. Notice on this graph that it goes down forever. We get bigger and bigger and bigger negative values. That's why we get closer and closer to 0. Because 1 over a big negative number, like 1 over negative a million, is really, really close to 0, but not quite equal to 0. And that's why we have that horizontal asymptote at 0, to say it gets closer to that, but never touches it. So questions you can do here are 3, 6, and 11b.